And Jim Lair said, "Your time is up, sir." And Romney said, "No, wait. I want to answer this."
This 105.9.
Lair looked at him and said, "We have to move on." He said, "No." He just said this. I have to answer that.
Following the debates.
They had 3 screens. They had Lair, Romney, and Obama. And Romney was engaged right with Lair, and Lair was engaged with him, and all of the power was right there. And Romney looked like a leader, a president. And Obama looked completely alone because he looked back and forth at the two of them. It was like, no, wait, but I want to, no, but it was over. It was over. The guy, to stand in a ring and to take the title is remarkable. And that's exactly what happened. How many times do you see somebody stand next to the president, and no matter who it is, he's the president. You've seen him with the SEAL, you've seen him with the Air Force One, you've seen him in all of the trappings. And when that man walks on stage, he's the president. He's more than just whoever he is. I don't care if it's Jimmy Carter or Ronald Reagan. It doesn't matter. He's more than a man. He's the president of the United States.
Why don't you consider that and understand that that's President Barack Obama? Glenn, this is ridiculous. But anyway, you have a nice day, and bye-bye, we're gone. No, let's stick with this cat a little longer. Let's listen a little more.
That he has gone through in the last 4 years. For a challenger to come up without the trappings, without any of that, and really without the support of the media and many of the American people, nobody's in love with Mitt Romney. So he walks on stage, and all of a sudden, he is commanding that stage in what, 5 minutes? Do you realize what a knockout punch that was? It was an unbelievable, I don't think, Ronald Reagan lost his first debate. Now remember, he lost his first debate as badly as Obama lost.
At least, yeah.
But he won in the end. Do not count this guy out. Barack Obama and the machine, I believe this thing's going to be
campaigning.
You haven't heard anything.
This is about Georgia. Listen, please.
It's going to get ugly. The labor unions, everything, ugly. However, if Romney can keep this up, I don't think that I have seen a president or a presidential candidate deliver this kind of performance since Reagan. And I think it may have been better than Reagan because this was substance. This wasn't just style. This wasn't, I'm the kind of guy, I'm more like Reagan. I would go out and I'm like not good with, I don't know all the facts and figures.
You're acting like he's stuttering, like he can't think. All that is a ploy. And you have to understand these new Christians and patriots because their Jesus empowers them to make people believe that they are among the righteous. But when you listen to their venom and the way that they refer to their fellow human beings, it don't take long to understand that they are everything but the followers of the Jesus that we know about, at least in my community. This got to be another Jesus, perhaps the same Jesus that labeled Governor Lester Maddox and Bull Connors and George Wallace before he was converted to another Jesus. So there's a great possibility that this is the Jesus that these new patriots and Christians are talking about and following and imitating. Listen, please. This is Glenn Beck. Listen.
He called it. I mean, he said that you are going to have this debate and the whole race is going to change the next morning. There it is.
This is how bad this thing went. This is how much the president was on the ropes. Not once did he even try to say 47%.
Yeah.
Not once.
I believe that didn't come up.
I mean,
I can't believe it.
That was amazing. That was the one thing I think all of us at the end looked at each other. 47%.
Well, I agree with you on that. I don't understand why he didn't do that either. I agree with you on that, my brother.
You know why it didn't come up? Because I believe that the president is so used to somebody else carrying the water for him. He just expected that Jim Lair was going to say that.
Wow.
What about the 47%?
Yeah.
So he didn't even prepare for it.
Wow.
He wasn't ready. He was just like, he'll feed him to the lions. I don't need to do that. So he wasn't prepared to have to fight his own battle because he's so used to everyone else fighting his battle. Again, it goes back to the press is the reason Barack Obama lost this last night. He was expecting it. And so when it didn't happen, he wasn't prepared. And I honestly, it was like watching a drowning man last night.
Wow.
There was a point where he was throwing stuff, and Romney did such a gracious job of taking him apart when he was like, I don't even know how you got to Medicare from that. I mean, it looked like he was really struggling, trying to understand his line of thought, and he couldn't because he was flailing.
This is an area here in Valdosta that the overpass will be coming through, and I think it's anywhere between $9 and $12 million that is projected to be spent down in this area. And the question remains of how much of that money will go to the economically oppressed people. And if there's any DOT or federal funding in the construction of this overpass, you see many businesses are not here anymore. And we can only wonder who will benefit from it. We all got an idea of who will benefit from it. Businesses have closed. They have been getting ready to come in and do work. Some work have already started. But this is in Valdosta, Georgia. Today is October 4th, 2012. In just a few months, this area will no longer look like this. There will be drastic changes to so emergency vehicles and traffic will not have to be delayed by the train here in the city of Valdosta, Georgia. By the way, Valdosta is a metro city. My hope is that they don't make it straight up like the other one. I hope they put some kind of slant on it instead of just pumping it straight up. Once again, I'm George Boston Rhymes in the city of Valdosta, Georgia, in the county of Lowndes, and in the United States of America, and in God's world. Not Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck. Let's listen to more Glenn Beck. I'm sorry, let's listen.
Blaze.com/TV. Mercury. You're listening to Glenn Beck on News Talk 105.9 WVGA. For by Stansbury Associates Investment Research.
Here's a surprising fact about President Obama you might not know. Aside from his presidential salary, most Americans don't realize that the president is also tapping into an income stream of more than $72,000 every single month. Over the past 4 years alone, the president has collected more than $5.5 million thanks to this income stream. Where is all this money coming from? You may be surprised when you find out, especially when you hear that just about anyone, including you, can use it to make enormous amounts of money each and every month. JM of Montauk, New York says, I've made gains in excess of $300,000. Ken H. from Damascus, Maryland says, I've already made around $60,000. Stansbury Research created an in-depth video.
You know, as we traveled in Valdosta Highway 84 West and listening to the debates last night of Mitt Romney, candidate for the presidency, and President Barack Hussein Obama, I went out to Moody Air Force Base and on many occasions looking for a picture of the Commander-in-Chief of our Armed Forces of the United States of America on the first floor. I have also talked to some of the non-commissioned officers, both black and white, as well as commissioned officer, and I talked to a captain, white captain, who hadn't been on base but 7 days, and he said to me that he thought surely there ought to be a picture of the president on the first floor of the 23rd Combat Wing out there at Moody Rescue, but there's not one there. He helped me, we walked around and we couldn't find it. He said, well, maybe it's on the second floor. And I told him that I'd been up there on the second floor and I didn't see it, and that I had gotten an email from a lieutenant. I got a name, I won't give it right now, but I told her that, told him that I gave her my phone number and my email address, and I still haven't heard from her, although she did email me. But people out at Moody don't remember seeing a picture out there in the wing headquarters building. By the way, that's Moody Air Force Base. This is the area of Tim Golden, Jack Kingston, and a lot of other people that Lewis Black, or Black Lewis, whatever his name is, and Lewis Black, and he is Ellis Black, brother. And I can't understand why it's so hard to get a picture of the president on the first floor of the wing headquarters building. Now, the vice commander gave me a tour And I didn't even see one in the mobility processing line, and that is when the people leave this area to go fight in various wars, and yet there are no pictures of the president out there either. So once again, I'm George Boston Rhymes, and this is What It Is, and bye-bye, we go.